kick Erica, please? She's a with childish opinions. Are you?
I don't kiss and tell.
She don't tell anything.
Have you? Okay, you were dating a guy for 6 months, right? Or in a situation for 6 months.
Yes.
I mean, have you hooked up with a guy before?
I don't kiss and tell.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not a virgin.
I'm giving you one opportunity. Like you've been really evasive this entire show. Like you've willingly come on a dating podcast, yet you refuse to like answer just basic dating questions.
I feel some things that are just more personal to people than others.
But like you've come on a dating podcast, like we talk about sex, we talk about relationships. Like I don't need you to like tell in details about like I don't need the details of your sex life. I'm just asking if like have you hooked up with somebody before?
I just believe that's personal, and I don't think that I should be forced to share that.
Can I ask you this? Before the kick happens, let me ask you this: do you market yourself as a virgin? Is this part of your marketing technique for fans or? Okay, so
no, that's not how
are you concerned that your own customers would have a different opinion if they knew you weren't a virgin?
That's not what I'm worried about. It's more so the fact that I just want to show myself in what I feel is a representative, like
OnlyFans.
But you don't know what I do on OnlyFans, so it's like for you to
we
say.
kind of have a
Let me ask you this:
there, right?
Do you think not being a virgin decreases your value or something? Why are you hesitant to say?
It's personal to me, and I think that's okay. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And if somebody, it's the same way as if you thought that it was personal, I asked you a question, I would completely think that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally within your right to not say it. You are on a dating show, so I think it's kind of expected you would say, to be fair to Brian. But I think if you don't want to say, that's totally fine. Like there are private things about my life that I wouldn't say in front of 10,000 people.
That's fine.
Did you just come on here to advertise then? Because what's the point of coming on a dating podcast if you're not going to talk about your dating life?
He knew. I messaged him and I told him that I've never been on a date before.
So then why would you just?
No, you said you've never been in a long-term relationship.
Well, it's the same thing as dating, is it not?
You said you were in a situationship for 6 months,
yeah,
so you have some dating experience.
So you were f***ing somebody and then not, like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense.
How are you
in a situationship and then you never...
Go off, Kelly.
That doesn't...
No, but that's okay. You are entitled to your own opinions, and that's completely fine. But I just am to mine as well, and I personally don't want to share some things, and that shouldn't be an issue. And that's completely up to you.
So then,
guys.
what do you want to share?
What are you going to share?
Well, there's other questions that you can ask based off of rather than just my body count.
We didn't ask you that.
You don't need to tell us your body count. But
let me ask you this:
she didn't even tell us her age.
Are you saving yourself for marriage?
No.
No.
So she's not.
Okay. So are you just saving yourself for the right person, but you don't need to be married?
Yes, and I personally don't want to go past that point because I respectfully, I don't want to share. And if you guys want me to leave, I'm more than welcome to leave right now. I'm not comfortable with that, and I think that should be respected, and I would respect you guys if that was the same situation, regardless who was saying it. And that's just how I personally feel.
It's one thing, it's just there's been at least 3 different instances where you're like, I don't want to share that, I don't want to share that, I don't want to share that. You didn't want to share your age, which is pretty bad faith, because who isn't open about sharing their age?
Well, I just don't want to be belittled by me telling you my age. I don't want you to look at me in a different perspective, and I think
Madison over there is
I'm
18.
And that's okay, but she's entitled to her own opinions, and I'm entitled to mine, right?
But I think it makes it really obvious that you're really young if you say something like that.
Yeah, for real. That's what I was gonna say. And we kind of can tell by your age.
You're trying to be very mysterious, but it's just like, wow.
I think it is totally within your right as a woman and a person to say I don't want to share something, but you're on a dating show, right? And so I think that's the frustration.
And I think that there's other questions that can be involved when it comes to a dating podcast. It doesn't have to be
about your life or love life or age or
love life is different. Sex life is different. 2 different things. So you know what I'm saying? So it's personally, that's just my preference.
I'll save it for later. I mean, you're right insofar as you don't have to answer that question, but it's just. If you're just not comfortable answering, that's fine, but I'm trying to loop you into the conversation here.
You know,
and I'm trying to loop you into the conversation, and you're just not making it easy.
If I look at it this way, it's a lose-lose situation, personally.
What's lose-lose?
If I were to say it, right, and coming from somebody who's done social media for a long time, personally, I've done TikTok for a very long time. If I were to, I understand this is a very different platform, and I completely get that it can have different perspectives, but I've watched your podcast before I came on here. I just learned about it yesterday. Watched a few different videos. And I saw some girls say a number and say it was low, and you guys still considered it high. I would be judged here if it was low. But if it's online, now I'm being judged in a different perspective from other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm being judged no matter what I'm saying.
I didn't ask for your body count. I didn't ask for your body count. I just, like, if I were to ask some sex-related question, like, you know,
okay,
if we started talking about, like, you know, favorite position, would you just omit answering that question?
Yeah, she would.
What?
What's your favorite sexual, like, that's a fun, lighthearted question to ask on a dating podcast. What's your favorite position? Lovely.
I've just, when it comes to the bed questions, like being in bed, no, I'm seriously, I've had some very experiences myself, so I shouldn't have to share the bed questions, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to going on a date and having those conversations of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was more than willing to answer, and I did respond to those, so it's like,
isn't it kind of silly that you would answer that question, but you can't answer your age?
You have your own opinion and I have mine, and that's okay. And I completely respect it, and I'm open to understanding other people's perspectives, and I'm not against it. And that's just the way that I view things. And if that makes other people uncomfortable, then I can leave. I have no issue with that.
You're over 18, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let it slide, but okay. We have